Today we are going to be learning the Tunisian Crochet Simple Stitch, and like any fiber arts work, we will be beginning with a slip knot, which I will show you how to do here. You take the yarn, you take just a little piece of it, you twist it over itself so that this hangs over this part. Next, you will hold on to this little X that you've created here. Take your 2 fingers right here into the loop. Now grab the working side. You don't want to grab this side because that makes a loose knot. You want to grab the working side. It will get tighter as you work. And you pull that through and you keep pulling. And that is your slip knot. This, what I'm using today, is a 10mm. Go right into the loop and tighten your working yarn to here. Now we're going to do chains for this. I'm just going to do about 9 chains. So you hook onto here, and that's 1 chain. Pull it through. 1, 2, 3, and 9. So the thing with Tunisian crochet is that this first loop will always count as a stitch. No matter how many chains you work, technically you'd work 1 less than you will need, because this, while we did 9 chains, it will turn out to 10 stitches. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to flip over your chains, and you see all these bumps that are created in the back. We are going to go into those bumps. I'm going to show that again. Right into the bump. I go with the tip of the hook in because it just helps get in there better instead of just like stabbing this part in. Yarn over, pull through. Again, through the bump in the back. Go through, yarn over, pull through, and we're going to go all the way down to our first little bump here. All right, so we are now full. We worked into that last bump right there, and now we have our working yarn, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So we made 9 chains, but we have 10 stitches. Now next, what you're going to do is we're going to pull through, not all at once. The first loop, you pull through 1. Then for the rest of the row, you will pull through 2 loops. And you do that again. And you do that again, all the way to the end of the row. And this will be your foundation chain for most Tunisian crochet. So this is just the first chain, or first row. Jeez, I can't speak. So we are going to now work our second row, or third row, technically, because your pullback row would be your second row. This, you're going to work in the little lines. Now this first one that your loop is coming out of already counts as your first stitch, so we skip this one. So this is your first stitch, so we skip this one because we already have 1 stitch. Now the next one we're going into, right next to it, you see this loop here. You're going to grab that front loop with your hook right here, pull that or push that through, yarn over, pull that up. We're going to do that for the next stitch. So that was the one we just did. This is the one we're going into. You see the loop here? This front bar right there, we're going to go into that right here. Yarn over and pull through. And then we do that for the rest of the row. Now, once we get to our last stitch, I know it looks a little weird, but you'll know it's the last stitch because the loop will be right on the side. Now this one we're going to work a little differently. These two have to be on the side at all times. So with these two on the side, on the furthest side, you're going to insert your hook right between this bar here in the middle and these two loops. You're going to push it through those two. This is how it's going to look when you push it through. You're going to have two. That's the loop. You're going to yarn over and you're going to pull it through those right there, and that's how it's going to look. Now, just like the previous row, we're going to pull through that first loop just once, and then two, pull through the two all the way across. And that is the next row done. Now that is going to continue. You're going to continue it however many rows. Now again, the first loop counts as your first stitch. So this, we skip it because this is that loop going in there. The next loop right here, that first front loop bar right there, part of the loop, that is where you're going to insert right there. Yarn over and pull. Again, that next loop right next to it, you see that loop? The bar that's right in front, you will insert right there, yarn over, pull through, and you keep going. And once you get to the last stitch, again, it looks a little funky. It will always look a little funky, but you're going to see this loop, and it will always go around this part right here. It's always going to have that little V right there. You can see that. It's always going to have that. So that next one right there, that's where you're going to kind of pull it separately. And insert right behind those two. Yarn over, pull through. Again, you pull through the first one and then pull through two all the way to the end. That is our next row done. You can see the pattern already starting to form, and you can continue going. I'm going to do a few more rows just so that you could see the pattern a little better. But you just continue exactly just the same way as I've demonstrated for as long as you want. You can start with as many chains as you want. Doesn't matter.
Slowly slide it over like this so it comes into the camera. I was like, okay.
Okay.
Like, don't literally tilt your head like
I know what you mean though. That was a good analogy. It's still recording this entire time.
I know.
So
It's
all right.
gonna be cut out.
Done. So this is after a few rows of working right here. And this is how the stitch turns out. It's very pretty. I used a 10mm Tunisian crochet hook. It's these really long hooks. The reason I used the large one is so that you can see the stitches a lot more. It does also prevent a lot of curling. You can still see a bit of curling, but it can be prevented if you don't want to have a small hook and then, you know, pull your yarn at an even tension or think about it. Then just get a larger hook. It's a lot easier. But yeah, this is the Tunisian simple stitch. Tunisian crochet simple stitch. I cannot speak. Wow. All right. Hope you guys enjoyed and happy crafting.